Hey guys, Haithi back. You know, the Persephone guide actually got a lot of love. A lot of people seem to enjoy it. And in the video, I asked what else you wanted to see, and someone on Twitter DM'd me asking for a MORRIGAN guide. So, you know, I got right on it. So, I got a MORRIGAN guide for you guys. Hopefully you like it. Hopefully you learn something. If you enjoy it, please like and subscribe. It helps a lot. And comment down below if there's anything else you want to see, or if go and follow me on Twitter and DM me. I read all of my DMs no matter what. So, I hope you enjoy the video and learn something. Alright, the first thing we're going to go over is builds, because I know a lot of people just want to see what a good build is, and they want to go learn the god themselves, so we're just going to get that out of the way real quick. Builds on MORRIGAN are actually really simple, because 9 times out of 10 you're going the same build. What you're always going to want to do is go start off the game with Boots 2, and where is it? Am I blind? Oh yeah. Boots 2, Doom Orb 1, so Lost Artifact. Then you're on your first back, you're going to want to finish your Boots, and then you're going to want to go into full Doom Orb, and then you're going to want to go Spear Desolation. If they have healing and you need anti-heal, Divine Ruin is also fine, but if they have no healing, you're going to want to go Spear Deso. Then you get 4th item, Polynomicon. Now here's where choices start to begin. Now you need some penetration. Now, I think the better item to go is Charon's Coin. I think Charon's Coin is always going to be the best pen item on her. But if you feel like you can't get Charon's Coin stacks, or if you think you're not going to be able to get Charon's Coin stacks, maybe the game's like too far gone and you just need like percent pen now, then the better item without the stacks is probably Obshard. But I still think Charon's Coin is the better item. And then last item, if you want more pen, you go Soul Reaver. If you just want more power, you go into Ratatouille. Usually I go Soul Reaver because your one-shot is still really good with Soul Reaver, but if you just want better one-shot or a more guaranteed one-shot, Ratatouille is still perfectly fine. So this is the build you're going to want to run now in almost all your games. That being Cooldown Boots, Doom Orb, Spear Deso, Polynomicon, Charon's Coin, and Soul Reaver. Another thing I need to quickly bring up that I forgot to say is I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, MORRIGAN, you always want to go Chronos Pendant. That's her best item because Chronos Pendant gives you a lot of cooldown plus the passive, which means your ult's going to be up all the time. That's actually not how MORRIGAN ult works. MORRIGAN ult doesn't always work off your own cooldown. Sometimes it works off the cooldown of, you know, the target you're turning into. So you're just kind of overstacking CD for your ult when you don't really need it. Plus the movement speed from Doom Orb helps a lot. That's why we're going Doom Orb over Chronos Pendant. I feel like Chronos Pendant is kind of a bait item on this god, especially in mid. So remember, always Doom Orb over Chronos Pendant. Don't go for Chronos Pendant. That's a big bait. Alright, now we're just going to go over MORRIGAN's base kit and what her abilities do. In case you've never played against this god, you have no idea what this god does, and you just want to learn her, we're going to go over all her abilities. Of course, if you already know what her abilities do, you're welcome to skip this segment and go on to the next segment, but I recommend you wait around and just hear me talk about the ult, because I might teach some of you a thing or two you don't know about the ult, because there's some things this ability does that a lot of people don't seem to know about. So we're going to head on right into it with her passive, Doomslayer. It's a very simple passive. What it basically does is your third auto attack is an AoE auto attack that does tick damage, as you can see right there. I'll do it one more time. Just like that. But it's really simple. This passive helps with clearing wave, and that's about it. Now, her first ability is Deadly Aspects. Deadly Aspects is also a very simple, straightforward ability. I'm going to press the ability button. You know what? I'll put everything on normal casting just so you guys can see it better. I, of course, play on instant casting, so the targeters don't appear. So with her first ability, you're going to press the button. This comes out. You get 2 clone Morgans to your sides and a giant cone in front of you. And then next time you left-click or you use your fire button, whatever that is, if you're on console, you're going to do damage and stun in front of you. Just like that. So very straightforward ability. Press the button once to make the targeter come out, you see the cone, then you just left click or trigger button, whatever it is on a controller, and it does damage and stuff. Second ability is Dark Omen, I believe. Yes, it is. Sorry if I sound a little bad. I'm really sick right now, so my voice may be a little fucked. This MORRIGAN's second ability is also kind of straightforward, kind of not straightforward. it's a straight line ability that does damage and marks targets. So right there it did damage, and you see that little thing above his head, that's the mark. As the little vial goes down, that's the mark depleting. So I'm just going to show you again. Look, it does damage and marks. The way you proc this mark is by hitting them with any other damaging ability. It has to be your own. It can be your own or allies. So if I have a teammate coming that comes up to this Odin and hits them while I have a mark, that will proc and it will do my 2 damage again. So essentially, as long as you're procking the mark, your 2 is going to be hitting twice. Alright, now I'm just going to show you what it looks like when you proc your 2. So I'm just going to 2, use my 1 to proc it, and as you can see, I had 2 numbers come up there. Once was for my stun and once for my 2. Also, you cannot proc your 2 and reapply your 2 at the same time. I'll show you what I mean by that. So right now, I did damage and I put my mark on him. If I use it again, it'll pop the mark, but it won't apply another one. See that? So I popped the initial mark, but it will not reapply it. I would have to use my 2 again to apply the mark. Also, another thing I quickly forgot to bring up about the 2 is the 2 can hit multiple enemies. It'll go through enemies, and it can also hit people through walls. As you can see, it did damage there. So Morrigan's third ability is Confusion. Now, Confusion is where a lot of people don't seem to understand how good this ability actually is. So simply put, what Confusion does is Morrigan gets this little target in front of her. She can left click, sending out a clone to wherever she had a target, and she becomes invisible for a good bit of time, and while invisible, she gains movement speed. What people don't know is you can, depending on where you click, that's how far your clone will walk. So if I do this, my clone will walk to there. If I do this, my clone will walk to here. Alright, so now the final ability in Morrigan's kit, her ultimate, her best ability is Changeling. Now Changeling does a lot. In jungle practice, what Changeling does is kind of limited. But hold on, let me just do this. This should make my ult a lot better if I... Oh god, that's laggy. Ooh, frames are dropping. There you go. So what Changeling does is I click my ult button and it brings up a menu. As you can see, there's a lot of Odins here. This is how Changeling normally works. Normally, you're going to see 5 gods up here and 4 gods down here. 4 gods down here will be blue, representing your team. 5 gods up here will be red, representing the enemy team. Now, what the ult does is I can select any of the gods. For this example, I'm just going to select Neith, and I can turn into Neith, copying her items and all her abilities, her everything. The only thing you don't copy is her level. But I'm going to copy everything of Neith for 10 seconds. So if I select Neith, I turn into Neith. Now I have all of Neith's abilities. I have Neith's 1, Neith's 2, Neith's 3, and if I want to use my ultimate, I have Neith's ult. And then you can see that little bar under me, that little circle right there, that's showing that my Neith is running out. Also, real quick guys, just something I forgot to mention that came to me as I was editing the video. While using Morrigan ult, your abilities will stay leveled the way your abilities are. So say you're Morrigan and you're maxing your 2 and you're level 5 and you have 2 points in your 2, 1 point in your 1, 1 point in your 3, 1 point in your ult, and you turn into Ares and you think, oh, I'm Ares, I can walk someone down with my chains. Since you were maxing your 2, when you turn into Ares, you're gonna have level 2 of Ares 2. So remember that. Say you want to turn into Chalk and you want to axe someone and you want to use your axe on someone for a bunch of damage. Remember, your 2 is going to be leveled highest, not your 1. That's just something to keep in mind while transforming. It's going to go off whatever you have leveled. Of course, normally I'd go into jungle practice and show you guys exactly what I mean, with the visuals so you get it, but Smite servers are going down in 25 minutes, so I can't click the play button, so I can't show you guys what it looks like in game. Sorry about that. So you can turn into any of the gods on your team and any of the gods on the enemy team. Where's reset cooldown, just so I can show you guys that again. Here it is, reset cooldown. Now if I want to turn into, for example, Guan Yu. I'm Guan Yu now. I can use Guan Yu's heal, his dash, his 3, and his ult. And you see this little circle around me? When that circle runs out, my ult runs out. I'm back to normal Morrigan. You can also extend Morrigan's ult by using channeled abilities. I'm going to show you what that means right now. So reset cooldown. I'm going to turn into Guan Yu again for this example. I'm going to heal, use my 2, use my 3, and now I'm gonna watch my bar goes down. Remember, when it gets down to nothing, I should deform, but if as it gets to nothing, I ult. I'm currently in a channeled ability, so I won't de-transform until my channeled ability ends. This works with all channeled abilities, no matter how slow. So if I turn into, oh, that's not Thor. If I turn into Thor, you know, hammer, 2, and we just wait for the bar to run out. Ba, 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 ba. Remember, Thor 3 is technically a channel ability, so if as it runs out, I spin. I'll stay as Thor for a little extra, because I have to finish the spin. You can also make this ult run for a long ass time. So watch this. I can turn to Thor, hammer, wall, 3, and then as it runs out, I can start ulting, and then I can stay in the air for like as long as I want, making my ult last for a long ass time. Now I'm in the air. Of course, I've been Thor for a lot longer than 10 seconds now. And then as I land, I'll turn back into Morrigan. Now we're gonna go over presets on Morrigan's ult. Presets only work on instant cast, which I highly recommend you play, you know, everything on instant cast. But if you can't play everything on instant cast, Morrigan ult on instant cast is really good. The presets work with your portrait over here, all right? So whatever is in this portrait, that's what your preset is. So as you can see, right now it's Neath. So the way I transform into Neath is I'd hold my alt button. If you're on normal cast, you don't have to hold, you can just like click it, and then I go to Neath, and then I left click her. That's how you do it if you're on normal cast or if you're selecting a different god. But if the god is already in your portrait, if it's a preset, you don't have to do that. So I'm just going to make sure Neath is my preset. Since she's my preset, I don't have to hold the button. I can just click my alt button and it won't bring up the menu. I will automatically transform. No menu needed. That simple. Of course, this only works if you're on instant cast, I believe. If you're on normal cast, you always have to go through the menu, I'm pretty sure. And if you want to change your preset, it's as simple as bringing up the menu again by holding down your alt button, hovering over whatever god you want to preset, and right clicking. It's that easy. So now it's Guan, now it's Ra, now it's Odin, now it's Thor. I can make it whoever I want. And if something's preset, I can just click my alt once and I'll turn into them. So that's kind of the ins and outs of chain. Oh, I forgot about the most important part about Chainling. And the reason you don't buy Chronos Pendant on this character is Chainling's cooldown. So Chainling's cooldown is right here. Oh, well, I've reset. Where's reduce cooldowns? Let me take that off. Chainling's cooldown is 64 seconds by default, right? This is the cooldown. So if you turn into someone and you ult and then you true de-transform, your ult will be 64 seconds. Now you may be thinking that's kind of OP with gods like Athena and Giannis, whose ult cooldowns are 120 seconds. Having a 64 second version of that ult seems kind of broken. Well, Hi-Rez agrees. The way Changeling works is you take whatever cooldown is higher. So if I turn into say Uller, and I use Uller ult, which is obviously a stance switch and takes a 1 second cooldown, and then I de-transform, it'll use a 64 second cooldown, like my menu says. If I turn into a god such as Athena, who has a 120 second cooldown, and I play as Athena, and then I de-transform, instead of having a 64 second cooldown, since Athena's ult is longer than mine, I will have Athena's ult cooldown. So my ult will actually be 120 seconds instead of 64 seconds. This is one of the main reasons why like early first item Chronos Pendants aren't the best on Morrigan, because yes, you're gonna have all that early CD, but not everyone else in the game's gonna have it, so you're always gonna be taking a longer cooldown on your ult no matter what. Alright, next up on Morrigan is level order, which is, where's reset? Here it is. Level order on this character is pretty straightforward and simple, so this shouldn't be too hard to follow along. Level 1, you're always going to want to get your 2 for wave clear. Level 2, you're always going to want, oh, that's not level up, here's level up. Level 2, you're always going to want to get your stun. Level 3, if you feel like you need it or you're in danger, you can get your 3, but 9 times out of 10, you're just going to want to level up your 2 again. Level 4, you can level your 3. Level 5, obviously level your ult. Level 6, your 2 again. Level 7, 2 again. Level 8, I like holding a point. And then at level 9, I like putting a point into my 2 and a point into my ult for the CD. Level 10, you're going to want to start maxing the 1. 11, 1 again. 13, 1 again. 14, I like putting it into the ult. 13 I like putting into the ult, sorry. 14 you want to get your 1. 15 start maxing out the invis. 16 invis again. 17 ult. Oh, 18 invis. 19 invis, and finishing out with the ult. So very straightforward level order, not too much to it, pretty simple. Is this clone removes any auto attack penalty you had. So obviously you guys know if you auto attack, you move slower. This is just how Smite works. This is how a lot of MOBAs work. But if you auto attack and use your 3 right away, I'm just gonna put my 3 back on instant cast just because you know that's what I'm used to show you this. If you use your if you auto and use your 3 right away, you won't get any movement penalties. Because like as you can see, if I'm walking and I auto, I slow down. But if I'm walking and I auto 3, I don't slow down at all. I don't lose any auto penalty. So that's just a little cheeky way you can sneak an auto attack in. Another thing you can do with that cool little auto attack trick I just taught you is if you use the auto trick and you have poly that's off cooldown and you use your 3 before the auto makes contact with an enemy, that auto will apply poly. So say I'm chasing this Odin bot and I walk up to him and I auto 3, see that? The auto applied poly even though I used the ability after. The other thing your 3 can do that a lot of people don't know about is say I'm over here and I want to check if there's someone around this corner. So right here, I can get my 3. I'll put it on normal cast for you guys just so I can show you again. I'll set my 3 to walk out this far, and it can scout the corner for me. If there's an enemy here, my 3 will give me vision of him. So you can also use your 3 to scout. Now we're going to go over Morrigan's damage combos and how you want to be doing your damage, because surprisingly, even though it seems pretty straightforward, a lot of people don't know this. Here's the main mistake people make. People go invisible, they'll try and flank someone, they'll start by 2ing, and then they'll use their stun, do the stun damage, and proc your 2. Yes, that's the highest damage, but that's wrong. You never want to do that. That's just bad. Hold on, let me get reduced cooldown quick. Wait, do I already have reduced cooldown? I do, never mind. So the damage combo you're always going to want to look for is invis, flank someone. To flank them, you want to get your stun prepped. You want to stun auto 2. That's your main damage combo. So invis, let's have your 1 prepped while invisible, get behind someone, stun auto 2. That's your main damage every time. Especially with the Polynomicon auto, this is going to almost one-shot a carry. Let's go on this Neath bot right here. I'll show you guys. Maybe I'll be able to one-shot her. So I'm going to invis, pull up behind her, flanker. Oh, these are actually 2 Neath bots. We're going to stun auto 2. So as you can see, we didn't one-shot her, but we got pretty damn close, which is all you really need. Getting someone that low without even using your ult is really good. Alright, now I'm going to show you her damage combo with the ult, because as you can see, just the 3-2-1 combo gets people to almost one-shot, which is really good. With the ult, it's more or less the same. You just add the ult to finish off. So I 3 in, prep my 1 auto 2 ult, and then when I ult, whatever I turn into, I want to proc my 2 as fast as possible. So if I turn to Guan, I'm just going to want to dash and then use my full kit as Guan. Of course, this is just for Guan. Depending on what god you turn into, this can be anything. Also, a little thing if you didn't know about Morrigan is when you de-transform, that counts as whatever god you were dying, so it actually procs your coin. That's just a little tip, I guess, but that rarely helps you. I guess I can give you a little heal that could save you. The last thing about her ult mechanic is always try and use channeled abilities at the end of your ult so you can you know, extend your ult for the longest time possible. If you don't know what I mean by that, I'm gonna show you what I mean by that. Alright, now I'm gonna show you guys what I mean by using channeled abilities last and why it can be so good using a Bastet bot. So, of course, if I want to turn into Bastet, I just, you know, have Bastet selected. I'll turn into Bastet. Now, I'm gonna want to use my jump, use my 2, use my 3, and now normally my ult would run out, but if as my ult runs out, I click my ult, Bastet ult is a channel for 10 more seconds. Now I have 10 extra seconds to get a second cast to my 3, a second cast to my 2, a second cast to my 1. I basically got to double cast everything in my kit. compared to how if I ulted right away as Bastet, I only would have been able to single cast everything. Of course, this isn't always the best. Sometimes you want to ult right away and get your ult damage in, but on characters like Set, where you can, you know, 1, 2, 3, and then ult, and then have a 14-second channel, it's really good. It's also good on characters like, you know, Set, where you want to 1, 2, 3, and then ult at the very last second, and then you can 1, 2, 3 again while in your ult, and overall you'll be transformed into a Set for like 24 seconds, which is pretty fucking long. But remember, don't always do this. Sometimes, assess the situation. Sometimes, if you need the Bastet ult right away to one-shot a carry, Bastet ult right away. You don't want to always do this. You don't want to always go for the full duration Bastet ult, full duration Set ult. Sometimes you need the damage right away, so don't overthink it, but remember the option is there if you need it. To counterpoint what I just said about, you know, Bastet and Set, how you can wait out their ultimates and then, you know, use them at the last second to make your ult go a lot faster, we're going to talk about Thor and characters like Jormungand or any gods with long channels, where if you use their ult right away, it drains a lot of your ult. I'll show you right now what I mean. If I turn into Thor and I ult right away, and then say I'm in the air, I'm trying to decide where I land, I don't know where I want to go. Oh, I want to land right here. I land, hammer, and then I don't even have enough time to cast my wall or my 3-year auto attack because I took so long, you know, channeling my ult, going up, and then looking around. Of course, sometimes it is better to do that. Sometimes you need a ult right away, but this is just a counterpoint of the last thing. Assess the situation. If you can use all your CDs, then go up to delay your ult, that's good. Just always know what you want to do. That's the key to Morrigan. Alright, and one of the last things I should mention about Morrigan's ult, Chainling, is Chainling does remove any effects you have on you upon ulting. So say I'm chilling here, I have 1 HP and Nuwa starts ulting me, I can ult into anyone, and ulting will remove the Nuwa ult. There will no longer be a Nuwa ult on me, the Nuwa ult will go away. Same goes for like tick damage. If there's a Serket ult ticking on you and you ult, the Serket ult will just go away. It's as if it never existed. The reason it does this is because Morrigan is treated as a different god from the god you turn into. So when you turn into someone else, the Morrigan that you are basically isn't on the map, so you can't really hit someone who isn't on the map. So if you're ever getting Nuwa ulted, make sure to transform. You got some tick damage on you, transform. Of course, this doesn't do like this doesn't like screw you over. Like if you're getting Athena ulted and you transform, the Athena ult will still work. That will not fuck you over. That is fine. But if it's something on the enemy team, 9 times out of 10 you will remove it. Alright, now we're going to go over Morrigan's level 1. Of course, I'm level 20, not level 1, and I'm full build. But with Morrigan level 1, you usually just want to start your 2, stand right here, to the buff over the wall, and then walk mid. Pretty simple. Morrigan in team fights, on the other hand, isn't as simple. Morrigan does not play like a normal mage. Even though she's under a mage tab and she does magic damage and she's primarily played mid, she's more of an assassin character. For example, in a normal mage, your front line is, and you're contesting fire giants, say your front line would be here, the mage would be back here, just trying to cast off any of the CC follow up on the front line damage. That's not Morrigan's goal. Morrigan's goal is to go invis, loop around into the back line, wait out, just see what's going on, get her stun ready, and try and pick off and one-shot a carry. You want to play an assassin style on this god. The mage style is still okay, you know, following up with 2s off your tanks, with the assassin style, especially in rank, is a lot better. Look to just 3 around the jungle, use this bonus movement speed, look for random picks. A carry's here, I stun, auto to him, turn into someone, assassinate him. If my team is on fire and their tanks are right here and their mage is back there, I'm going to look for the long flank, look to see if there's anyone back here. Maybe someone's walking from base to join the fight, look to pick them as they're walking in. You are a really heavy one-shot assassin on this character, and that's what you want to play like. You want to look to one-shot assassinate any of the carries. Carries usually being mid or ADC, but sometimes jungles are building full damage and they can be considered a carry as well. make sure to watch out for like stuff like mantle, because if you're trying to one-shot someone and they mantle stun you, you're probably gonna die or get your relics forced. But just make sure to always flank around and play like, you basically want to play like a team fighting Loki. That's what Morrigan is. She's Loki with a better ult that team fights. So always be scouting the enemy backline, trying to find out where they are, invis into them, walk into them, stun, auto 2, transform, whatever transformation you choose. Of course, only character in this game is Ares, so I can only choose Ares. You want to help. You want to assess the situation and turn into the character best for where you are. If you need to get out right away, you could turn into a Thor, ult out. If you need to continue fighting, you could turn into an assassin character, continue fighting. If you need to turn into a tank character, turn to a tank, keep tanking. If your backline's getting messed up, you can turn around, turn into a guardian, and then try and peel, Geb shield a teammate, Kepri ult someone. Just try and go for an assassination and then assess the situation. That's the key to playing Morrigan. Alright guys, that was the Morrigan guide. I hope you learned something and enjoyed. If you want to see any other guides, any other videos, please comment down below, let me know. Oh, or go to Twitter, follow me, DM me. I read every DM. If there's anything you want to see, it's just one question ask away. I do have a top 5 mids video coming out later this week, and I plan to drop some play-by-play videos because I know a lot of people learn a lot from those. The problem with those is I need good quality ranked games, which are kind of hard to get at times, but I'm going to try and get at least one of those out this week as well. But I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, have a nice day, and don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like.